in great part, a career for you is going to, in terms of the number and quality of roles, is going to be determined more by our audience, the Latinos, demanding and also making you a commodity by investing in you, by going to see a film that you're in, and letting the industry know, I want more. We have that kind of power in our community. We just don't exercise it as much. It's been determined that for example, one letter to a studio translates to 10,000 people. So you can imagine how much power there is in one letter that lets the studio or the network know, I want to see that guy. I want better roles like that.
Yeah.
That's the only way the roles are going to change.
And the reason we have this program, even here, I would say we have Latino leadership at the school that's pushed for it. They want their stories told. And we have 70% of Oxnard is Latino. You know, we need to get even more people here. And we're going to keep doing these Latino thought makers, and please tell your friends. But you will make the change. That's what you will be. You will be the change. Yes. Okay. You're right in the same line.
How often in your careers did you guys take risks where you doubted yourself to the point where people thought that you were crazy for your ideas?
Even in terms of accepting any particular role,
Yeah, any
or choosing this career?
or just a risk in your career?
Choosing this career, I think you're saying. That most people would say, why in the world would you choose this career?
Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying like, you know, actually like, you know, if I have an idea, for example, because I'm trying to create, I'm trying to get into producing, you can't be intimidated or shy to say, hey, I want to pitch this. And, you know, somebody might think, oh, well, you don't have a writer, you don't have a this, you don't, so I'm gonna go pitch this. I wanna do this. Let's try to put it together. Let's try to do it. You have to have a little bit of that crazy. You do.
You do, and I'll also tell you this, if you're studying to be an actor or writer or any of that stuff, some of the most successful people in Hollywood start off as actors. Nia Tassler, the head of CBS, started off as an actor. Les Moonves started off as an actor and a doorman at the Improv, who's now the CEO of CBS. You may start
Gene
off
Hackman was a doorman in New York.
Who?
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, yeah. You hear these stories all the time.
What's his name? The guy that just passed it. More movie stars to come here. I mean, movies and shows.
Arnold?
Huh? No. The
Jerry Brown? Which one?
No. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. He was an actor. He started out as an actor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll think of his name.
Most people, the skill you learn as an actor or the skill you're learning in this college today and all that stuff may serve you to be an actor, but you don't know. You may end up being a head of a studio. You may end up being a director. You may end up being a writer. It's the basis is your desire to study something that's setting you apart.
I think also one example I can give you in my trajectory in terms of did I have any doubts? This young man mentioned The Last Angry Brown Hat. You know, it was the first time that I really directed 3 other actors in a stage production and toured it for about 4 years, so it was very successful, right? Particularly with our community. Now from there, I had always wanted to do something about our contribution from the military to America's defense, and there was nobody doing it. And I always figured if Hollywood does it, they're either going to do it not to my satisfaction, or they're not going to do it at all. Or they're going to do the Argo thing. They're not going to cast a Latino the way I see it. And so now I was undertaking a project that nobody had ever done before. So it was in this genre somewhat sui generis, you know? So I was also going to have to write it myself, which I had not done. I was going to have to do a ton of research on history that I had not been a part of, except for Vietnam and Korea, maybe late stages of the Korean War. And then I wanted to hire nothing but Latinos, like when Anglos all play either Asian, Native American, Latino. You know, I wanted the same thing for our people. And so there was nobody doing that. So who was I to undertake this project and think that I could actually do it? So yes, there were, you talk about doubts, I don't know, there an actor alive who probably isn't insecure about performance.
Most good artists are terribly insecure.
Very insecure.
If you don't like being laughed at, don't choose this profession. Eres el payaso, and they're gonna laugh at you. You know, you stumble and fall, you forget your lines or whatever. You're out there, you know, your knees are shaking, everything. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Here's a question I'd ask, and people are surprised. Lisa, do you get ever scared talking to an audience?
I always get a little nervous, but I've gotten more comfortable
Yeah.
talking. I feel like I've gotten more comfortable talking in front of the audience.
Enrique, do you feel nervous
Yeah.
talking?
I'm much more comfortable as an actor doing a character, whether it's on stage or film, but particularly live audience. When I have to be myself in front of an audience, the first thing I think about, who the hell wants to hear what you have to say?
You sure?
Yeah, that's normally, you're racked with, I've been on Broadway and everything, and every single time, I was always terrified. The only difference is when you're a professional, you just don't look terrified. That's the only thing. You're terrified inside.
Technique.
Technique says, you'll get through this, it's fine. Your next question. Yes.
Well, thank you first for coming. My name is Jonathan Lopez, and I participate on one play with you. Like
Yeah,
last
you did
year.
Latino Laws.
Yeah, I was Latino last
You
year.
know the girl in Latino Laws that was on the stage doing Latino Laws is now the new lead on Empire, Yanni Marin. They cast her on Empire. So, you know, and believe me, I met her in an acting class I was teaching a year ago. And she had been on Broadway. We brought her here, and now she's on Empire. So, persistence. Persistence.
It's
Big time.
called, what is it, the definition of success? When preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming and share your experience from Hollywood and your career. So my question is, what is something that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting as an actor?
What question? The question is, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting as an actor?
That's an interesting.
I mean, for me, editing. I wish
So many.
There's so many,
Yeah, there's so
right? I
many.
know, I'm
It's
trying to
like-
pick like what the most valuable one would be.
I would say it changes so fast that say like, if I looked at it, I probably would do much more on the web. I just did a show on East Los High Hulu, how that's changed. I worked with a guy that has 12 million subscribers on the web, Ray Williams Johnson. That's more subscribers than CNN has on their website. And you look at that and I go, the web, creating your own opportunity. And I look, but with Latino, like Enrique and I'm sure Lisa, we had to make our own opportunity.
Yeah, we didn't have the web or any of that.
No.
So, you know, I think a couple of things, like for me, something that I really learned, and I wonder if you guys, you probably feel the same way too. It's funny because we're always so nervous, you know, for auditions and preparation and the lines and the character, because you know, the thing is to be, you know, unique, right? And my acting teacher used to say, no one else is going to be Lisa Vidal. There is no one that is going to walk into the room and be Lisa Vidal. And I thought about that, and that's like so true. And there's nothing more that a casting director wants than for you to be the one. They don't enjoy going through thousands or hundreds or whatever it is of people coming in and sucking, basically. You know what I mean? So it's
It's
that
painful.
thing.
It's
And
painful.
what I'm saying is, the reason I'm saying is that is because what I think is most important is being sure of, in the sense of who you are and what you're bringing into the room, that your choice. the choice that you made is your choice, and no one else is going to make that choice.
There was a guy that came into the audition, and you didn't have a puppet, did you? Yeah, it was you. You did the puppet.
Look at that.
He had a puppet, and I remember his puppet. He brought out a puppet, and you did a bandana around your mouth. Now remember, I see 2,000 people for this show. 2,000 people. And all I remember is this puppet, and I was like, he's brought out a puppet.
Did you hire him?
No, I didn't hire him. That's what I'm saying. But the point was, it was you, and it was you, and an actor came in right after you, an audition, a perfect audition. And the casting director's next to me, she goes, what do you think? I go, I didn't see him. And she goes, what do you mean? And I said, I didn't see him. Who is he? I didn't see him. And she said, yeah, I didn't see him either. And she got it. She got what I was saying. I saw you. Now I may say I saw you, I may say, hey, it could be more polished than you or that. But I felt I saw you. And so that's why you're memorable to me. That's why being up here, I can look at you and go, you auditioned for me. It's like, I remember you. That's really what Lisa's talking about, the individuality that you go, there's no one like you. You were, what, from Mexico, correct?
Yes.
And you came here and you've got a desire to act and you've got some really great things about you. I remember you. That's how you get people to remember you. Your individuality, who you are, your uniqueness is what they remember. I've always remembered Lisa and I've always remembered Enrique, and it's, you know, Enrique, very soft-spoken man. But when he speaks, it's always something important to say. That's what I've learned about him after knowing this. Yes, it's true.
Is there anybody in your family that's an actor? Or?
No, no one.
Yeah, we're basically the same. There was no role model personal. I mean, I obviously knew about Anthony Quinn, and we stand on some great shoulders there, you know, from that generation.
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban,
Desi Arnaz.
Desi Arnaz, Gilbert Rowland, and even behind the scenes, Chico Day and Marcel Delgado. But in terms of having something to be able to, you know, help you along, I'm it. I'm still it in my family. Like my immediate family, except now my daughter, of course, and my wife. But then you were talking about this young man and the puppet. Well, one of the things that in terms of learning and that what I would have known before was maybe that ever since I made a particular choice in that area was that I decided I'm never going to lose another job for the rest of my career. So I made a choice that every job that I went to, I was going to get. Before that, I made that choice, I didn't think like that. And the reason I've never lost a job is because that's exactly how I look at every audition. I prepare for that audition, and I always get the job because I did the role. They may not pay me for it, or you may not see me at the TV show because I didn't get the role, but I did the role. And so I leave the audition with that satisfaction. When I leave every audition, I take that sides that they give me, and I rip them up, and I throw them away, and I forget about it.
Moving
Because
on.
I already did the job.
Yeah, that's a really
I
good.
already did the job. And I'll give you one example is Oliver Stone was going to do this film called, it was about Noriega.
Mm-hmm.
And I had heard some horrible things about Oliver Stone, how he is with people. And I didn't care. I wanted a job, so I prepared to go in there. And on a personal note, I loved JFK.
Yeah.
And so I took a laser disc. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. I took the laser disc of JFK and I walked into the audition, and then I asked, the first thing I did, hey Oliver, would you sign this for me? You know, and he smiled and he signed it. I said, okay, I put it down. I said, okay, what do you want to see? Just a question, because they always ask you too, is like, you know, do you have any questions? And I preempted it and asked Oliver, what do you want to see? Because I have something to tell him. Oh, he says, okay, what do you got? And so what I had done was I made a choice about the character. He had been a bush pilot, and so I wore this bomber jacket, and I said, okay, this guy is probably not, he doesn't like his job. You know, all he gets out of this is he doesn't make enough money. So what does he do? He always drinks. So I walked in there and I was talking, and then I pulled a shot glass out of my pocket, you know, and there was a water there, so I used the water. It's like I'm sitting across from this guy in a bar and I'm talking to him. Needless to say, I didn't get the job. But neither did Oliver, because he never made that film. But not long after that, he was doing a film called Nixon. And he offered me the role, because he remembered the shot glass.
Yeah, it's a lot of times it's also remembering, you see some people. Great story. But I'll give him a compliment. It was funny. He went to his audition at CBS, the Caucasian Broadcasting System. They can be very white. And he comes in there and he brings out Little Puppet, and I'm like, I understand what he's doing. I'm probably and one of the people there says, did he have a toolbox? Because you brought the puppet out of a toolbox. And someone goes, that's really racist. And I'm sitting there watching these two Anglo producers fighting about whether it's racist to say he had a toolbox. I'm like, no, it was a toolbox. I didn't say anything, but I'm watching this thing, but you brought it out of a toolbox, right? So he brings that little puppet out of a toolbox, and he walks in with a toolbox. This Mexican guy walking with a toolbox, and it's like everything's going off in our stereotypical mind. But I remember, and that's a lot of things, is when you are yourself, unapologetically you, that's how we remember.
Yeah, or we are we. I mean,
Yeah.
we know ourselves better than anybody else. You know, soy brujo y qué. We still haven't seen that done well, you know? It's like La Llorona or whatever.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff that we are, that we've always said, wow, I'd like to see that, you know? I mean, when I was a farm worker and we all finished the day's work, and you know, here we are sleeping on beds that we made out of produce boxes and rooms made out, you know, you string a rope and clothespins with blankets there so you can get some privacy, and you know, it's that kind of existence. But what did we have? We all got together and made a little bonfire, and we all told stories. And everybody had the same kind of stories, because we're so universal in our experiences, especially as farm workers. A community, and we have tios and we have tias, and that's why when I did veteranos, it's veteranos because I wanted to give that word its dignity back, because to me veteranos are people that have faced death and contributed to America. Those are the veteranos. To me, an ex-con is not a veterano. And so I wanted the story I wanted to tell it truthfully, and so I wrote it the way we speak, in English and in Spanish, and sometimes como indígenas. Okay? And the music was reflective of our culture, from pre-Columbian times, from guerreros that you saw the soldiers dancing, to Latinos were also dancing the minuet, as well as, you know, folklorico dances. They danced the turkey trot, they danced rock and roll, and all of that is reflected in veteranos. And so the soldiers went off to war in World War I. They were singing in English and they were singing in Spanish. One of the stories that you saw, David Barkley, he was from Laredo, Texas, but in Laredo, Texas, they knew about Audie Murphy, but they didn't know about him. And he was from their town. But after they saw the show, they were so inspired, they took a collection and they built a monument to him, one of their own. This is pride of being Latino.
There's a Latino that served more time as a POW in Vietnam.
Edward Alvarez.
Yeah, and John McCain. Edward Alvarez, I've actually approached to be one of our thought makers.
And the first and only POW to earn the Medal of Honor is Rocky Versace from Vietnam. Puerto Rican Italian.
Yeah.
See, we should be seeing those stories.
Another question, one last question. Anyone? Then I will close, oh, wait a minute, there it is again. I feel like I'm at a press conference, they're actually reading these questions, this must be important.
Vamos a Univision.
Go back to Univision.
Okay, so what is the strangest thing a role requires to do?
What's the strangest thing
Uh-huh,
that a role has required you to do?
yeah.
Be in prison.
Be in prison? Lisa?
And I like it like that, I had to hold a chicken upside down and make it look like I was doing santeria.
For me, I was in China Beach, the pilot, and I got to go up in a helicopter and act like I was in Vietnam. So it was like, I'm playing war, this is playing army. So I was going up in a helicopter, I thought, that's kind of a cool thing to do. I think it's not so much they ask me to do strange things, it's opportunities to experience things that other people don't. I think this is the university of us as actors, that we get to play roles that aren't us. And we get to wear
doing the work.
Yeah, and we get to wear the skin of another human being and get to understand them a little bit more. And in the end, there's far more similarities between all of us than differences. And that's the beauty of the art. So thank you all for coming. We're gonna have more Latino thought makers. We have a whole season planned out. There's gonna be a lot of great people up here. I wanna thank you two for coming. A big round of applause.